Hello everybody, SeKo Starcraft here, doing a little bit of ladder replay action, kind of between tournaments right now with BlizzCon coming up, so I'm going to have to get my hands on some more pro stuff here as that happens. But till then, we have JimRising up against HuShang. No idea who HuShang is, but JimRising I've seen around quite a bit, so I figured I'd give one of his replays a try. I like looking at people's logos. KLG. When I look at that logo, I say KGL. That G seems to have more priority than the L to me. But regardless, Zerg versus Protoss, Catalina. I know this is a pretty decent map and it's fairly popular, but I actually seem to have a lot of trouble on this map for some reason. The bases are pretty close together, but because I usually play a more passive style of StarCraft, you end up having a lot of fronts to defend on, which, well, then you should be more aggressive, people would say. And that's something I'm trying to incorporate a bit more into my games. Just because I think it frees up a little bit more opportunity if you do that. HuShang, from this, looks like he's probably going to go for a cybernetic score expand. That's my prediction. But it's hard to say. Even on a 3-player map, there's some good opportunities for cheese and pressure. As soon as you think you have the opportunity to be a more econ focused, somebody's going to try to be a bit of a jerk to you. It doesn't matter how you do it. Both are scouting in the wrong direction for where it's going right now. We'll see if he does send out a Zergling or not. I find it interesting that some pro players scout and some just don't really care. And on ladder, for me, not scouting would be such a weird position to be in. I know when I somehow get matched up against like Masters League players, sometimes you can get away with the cheese because they just don't like to scout that much for some reason. So we'll see if JimRising cares too much. Case in point, hatch first. On this side, it looks like it will be a Nexus first there. So both of them decide to go super greed, but the Protoss player will discover this before the Zerg player will. Standard timings though, pool's going down after this, so still a fairly safe open for most circumstances. Not even an Overlord over here to make sure. A lot of the times they'll keep that second Overlord here just to make sure a pylon doesn't start on its way. I'd like to see more players just try to catch that scouting worker when it goes to the mineral line. I know sometimes on the amateur side leagues you see people that just don't pay as much attention. You can snake it all the time. But in this case, it's not how it's going to be. Drone does come down here to look for a cannon, but there is no such thing. In fact, it is going to be the Nexus first. And now this probe is probably just going to patrol back and forth to see the timing of that third hatch. When the scout comes in here and sees the Nexus timing, he may decide to throw down that hatch pretty quick here. I've played against this strategy a couple times as Zerg players, and sometimes you can still just make, 8 lings run across the map and get a lot of damage in. Mostly because that cybernetics core is so delayed that the mothership core and, stalkers a long ways before they get out. Fighting for his right to build a hatch. Juking and jiving. Probe knows that's going to go down. Sometimes it's worth it to come back and check. Yeah, almost got a block. But yes, you do want to check to make sure that third hatch goes down. I've done a couple of games. I've done hatch fakes, put it down, cancel it, and turn that all into a whole bunch of Zerglings. Fun way to do things sometimes. Overall, worker count, Protoss player with his boost has a bit of a lead. Second hatch is finished. Queens are on the way, so that should catch up here fairly soon. And we just have the warp gate underway now. Mothership core going to bounce out. Yes, beer. Beer just makes me feel so much better while I'm casting. Overlord at the front here does see what's going on. These two lings are actually going to get a nice run in. There's not anything to see right now. The second check choice has not been selected. This Overlord is going to sit here to run in perhaps at a later time. The fact that he has not seen any tech of any sort here might let him know that, yeah, it could just be straight up economy for a while. But you do want to see if it's going to be a big pile of, gateways going down. A forge at the front is quite interesting. But yeah, that tech choice still hasn't come up yet. If I see a forge going down before the rest of it, I'm kind of thinking, a 2-base all in. Just because them's be popular right now against Zerg players. Get that +1, get them zealots rolling. Zerg player just finally finishes up his first gases. Got up to about 35 drones before he put any of those down. Depends. Oh, it'd be a good opportunity for the stalker to come over and deny this creep. That's really the advantage you have if you're going up against somebody who does go gasless, is you can go, because these Zerglings really can't get anything done. Mothership Core has enough energy for a recall, so these two Stalkers can actually get a good chunk of damage done here. Running the Overlord away, this Queen might go down. Bunch of Lings are popping out right now, but killing this Queen is worth it. Particularly as that'll be the only anti-air over here. Oh, nope, the other one's on the way. Slow Lings, gonna have a dickens of a time. Might lose his Mothership Core. Unfortunately, he did no micro. If he actually microed that Queen a couple of steps, think he could have got that. But Mothership Core will get away. Did have that time warp there just in case. Gateways, couple of gateways finished up now. It's essentially a 4-gate +1 that we're at. No, 3-gate +1. Isn't that spectacularly offensive? Speed is on the way, units-wise. Zerg players just starting to take that lead now. It is a good chunk of Zerglings, and sometimes you can get lucky and get a surround on a Stalker or something like that. But for the most part, without speed, not going to have too much success. Hallucinated Phoenix actually does come over here and scout this other base. Very interesting. Well, he does see it obviously with the Overseer there. Overlord. Might lose all these links with these sentries. No, we'll scoot out of there. But seeing this timing here, I always have a weird thing in my mind. Am I going to go pressure the guy? Am I going to just make a big pile of stuff? Or am I just going to play my game? I have this, well, I used to have this really big punish mentality. Like, oh man, he must not have units. I'm going to go hit him in the face. But if you get away from your game plan too far, sometimes it's really tough to be able to adjust. Only 2 workers in this gas here. I'm sure that's not on purpose. 4th base going down, and I don't mind that as a response from JimRising. He's just going to play out his style. Got some roaches and +1 on the way. Lair's about to finish up. And then just go into a fairly standard game for him here. He knows it's not a 2-base all-in coming at him now, obviously. So he should feel a little bit more secure. Robo is finished. He's going to start pooping out. Oh, an Observer. And a bunch of gateways over here as well. Lots of scouting here from HuShang, which obviously is very important. You want to be able to see if the Zerg is going to be putting on the aggression. But I don't mind playing a bit more passive as a Zerg player. Wait to see what the tech choice of your opponent is and then decide. Spire. He is going up to 4 bases on 3 mining bases of gas, even though this one's only got 2 in it. And he's banked up a lot of gas right now. He might be able to get a lot of mutas out in a hurry. And against a very sentry-focused army, this could work out pretty good. There's no Stargate tech, just Gateway tech. Well, the Robo is down, but it's not going to be pumping out anything just yet. And with having the Warp Prism there, we'll see if the mutas can shut that down or not. Slow Roaches, a little bit of pathing issues here, but still a little bit of stuff at the front. We'll see if we can get any kind of attack. This might go straight base trade. There is a Warp Home available here. Spire is finished, but he hasn't started making anything with it yet. There we go. 15 mutas. Coup. Now this is actually really good. I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Protoss player try to Warp Home very soon here. There's only 1 cannon in this entire base. Well, big Stalker warp in. The unfortunate thing for JimRising is they are Stalkers, so the mutas will have to contend with those. Kills a lot of units over here, but it looks like he might end up losing this base. But once again, there's only a handful of Stalkers on this side. A little bit of bad rally coming in now, unfortunately. Drones are going to come out and fight as well. There's no Guardian Shield down yet. Very helpful against mutas because of the splash damage. But it looks like he's going to lose a lot of these units here. Tons of stuff caught in the back. He will send those drones back to work now. Might lose another sentry. A lot of energy. Oh, does get away at the last second. Now this is an interesting spot for the Protoss player. 3rd base has been gutted. He doesn't really have any anti-mute attack. He doesn't have Archons. He doesn't have Blink. Oh no, he does have Blink. I didn't even see that go down. Going to get some sexy Blink micro going on here. We'll focus down some of the weakened guys. But he's using these mutas for defense, which is I'm sure what he doesn't want to do right now. I'm sure he'd rather be across the map, applying pressure and getting the Protoss wanting to return home. And that looks like what he's going to go do is just say, screw it, I'm ready to lose a bunch of stuff. We'll see if he transfers some drones over and builds a pile of spines. You'll usually see a lot of Zerg players do that because they have such a huge bank of minerals after the mutas go and take up all the gas. You'll throw down like 10 spines to slow everything down. Tons of damage coming in from these mutas, and I don't like this choice from HuShang here. He's got no way of being able to win this base trade perpetually if all of his economy goes down. Not focusing the best things right now. Or is he shooting the robot? No, he's just on hold position right now, microing other things around the map. Base completely wide open. Nothing here at all. Cybernetics core, very important thing to get down. No more stalkers or sentries that can come out. And that's all the anti-air that there is. Looks like he's actually changed his mind again, though. We'll kill all these probes first. So if we look at the units tab, he's got 2 probes left. That's 1. The other one, I think, is somewhere around the map, hidden. Yeah, he's getting in a lot of damage here. There is another base up, and there's at least enough money remaining to build a hatch for a Zerg player. The Protoss player does not have enough for a Nexus. Yes, thank you whoever was casting this game. There are drones that have escaped, so even if this did go mega south, I'm sure it'll be fine. Lings carve through buildings so fast that I don't think there's any chance yet. I think this is the last probe. So our units. Yeah, there's no probes left anymore. So this is it for HuShang. He's trying to get back in time, but he GG's out. He knows he doesn't have a chance. Interesting match there from JimRising. Kind of like the decision for the mutas. Got out enough mutas. You see a lot of times Zerg players will start going against Protoss, but they have like 5 mutas out, and then he's got to trade with them. 15 mutas will get a lot done. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody for watching. Talk to you later.